Hey everyone, I'm Bluey, and while I still haven't produced my review of Pokemon Sword and Shield yet due to various circumstances, I have been playing the games and enjoying them despite my complaints here and there. The hype cycle of Sword and Shield already had a lot of heated debates spark up about its issues, but the heated debates would be sparked up once again with the January 2020 Pokemon Direct. While there was much rejoicing over the return of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon at the beginning, there were many mixed opinions over the announcement of a Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pack that would include new areas and the return of many Pokemon. Some were excited, some were angry, and others were in the middle. So today, I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass to see if it was a good idea. We'll start with the cons so we can end this episode off on a positive note. If we were getting any extra content for Sword and Shield, I was hoping it would be free to make up for the exclusion and problems that happened during the hype period of the game, as well as the game itself. But we're getting paid DLC, which Pokemon hasn't done before. Paid DLC in general rubs you the wrong way with how scummy it's often done with the Call of Duty games and the Star Wars Battlefront games, but to give the benefit of the doubt, this is the first time Game Freak has done DLC, and Nintendo DLC has been good and worth the price in the past, so this is more of a me being a cheapskate complaint. Speaking of Nintendo DLCs, Breath of the Wild's expansion pass was $20 along with Splatoon 2's Octo expansion. How much does the Sword and Shield expansion pass cost? $30 for each version. This rubs me the wrong way, as while not the $50 season pass like with Call of Duty games, it's still a lot of money for DLC, especially DLC from Nintendo. I don't think I'll mind this price if the content of the DLC is long and fun, but without the context or having the content in my hands, it's a hard sell to people who don't have much disposable income or didn't even like the base game. Speaking of the base game, as much as I like Sword and Shield, it definitely wasn't as great as it could have been. The narrative was oddly paced, along with a lacking of a huge variety of content like in past games. I mean, the wild area, raid battles, and online will get you a lot of playtime, but everything else wasn't as long as in past games. So seeing paid DLC in a game that got the developers death threats could be seen as a tone-deaf move to many. With how much money Sword and Shield made, they probably could have got away with releasing this content for free. Hell, releasing the content for free could draw more sales from cautious Pokemon fans. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and the Pokemon Company loves their money, so releasing the content for free is probably out of the cards. But on the other side, the DLC looks promising. Not only do we have the reintroduction of 200 plus new Pokemon, which include all the legendaries, there's new areas to explore which look really fun and interesting, and I mean it's more Pokemon to play, and I'm a sucker for Pokemon, so hook it to my veins. We also have a fresh face in the director's chair. Hiroyuki Tani is directing the DLC, and while he's worked at Game Freak for some time now, this is his first time in the director's chair to my knowledge. The Sword and Shield expansion pass seems like Tani's trial run before he directs a mainline Pokemon game, and it's great to see the series get the fresh talent it deserves. Pokemon has a habit of releasing the first version of a game, then a year later releasing a definitive edition of that game with new content. We got it with Pokemon Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, Platinum, and the Ultra games, but with the invention of DLC, these game releases seem more and more silly, and with Pokemon games costing $60 rather than $40 these days, doing a full price re-release of Sword and Shield with extra content sounds inconvenient to the consumer. So instead of locking the new content behind another game for another $60, why not use DLC to add on to the current game for half the price, along with giving the game a longer shelf life? So was the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass a good idea? I'm leaning towards yes, but I can see why some people may think it's a bad idea. I'm just excited I don't have to worry about finishing my Pokemon Sword and Shield playtime by November when the new games come to take their place. Pokemon yearly releases seem counterintuitive to me since the games are full-fledged adventures with hours of content by yourself or with friends. And despite how much I like Sword and Shield, they really needed more time in the oven to be as great as they could have been. I like getting more Pokemon, but the franchise can more than afford to wait a few extra years between installments so they can be more polished with lots of things to do and please everyone. Then again, it seems like I'm the only Pokemon fan happy with anything these days. You know what? I'm not gonna end with a joke today. Just thank you, Game Freak. Thank you for all the years of Pokemon.